Hello, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Happy Thanksgiving. If you're listening to this on the day of release, this is releasing on Thanksgiving Day. So happy Thanksgiving if you're listening on Thanksgiving. If you're not, happy Thanksgiving anyway, because it was Thanksgiving at some point. So there you go. Today's episode of before I say what it's about, you already know. I know you read the title, but I couldn't really find anything to do that was like a Thanksgiving special. There isn't really a lot related to cars when it comes to Thanksgiving, so there wasn't much I could do. I'm going to try to plan something out better as like a Christmas special. I might go on my Instagram and ask some people for some festive Christmas car stories and have a bonus episode of just reading out people's festive holiday stories with their cars or with their families if something happened, like in a car crash or they bought a car on Christmas and how it was, just anything. I might do that, maybe, but we will see. But anyway, today's episode is about Scion. We're gonna start by just talking about Scion itself and then move into a few specific Scion models. The more time we have, the more different models we'll get into. But yeah, there's a lot about Scion that I didn't really know, especially the concept cars that are going to be shown here. But I'm trying not to pause too long. I'm just trying to figure out where I should start. Probably here. Okay, I figured it out. So, we're going to start with Scion. Now, if you don't know, I'm a part of a car club called Visions, Vizhuns, Visions. And one of my fellow club members, a good friend of mine, he drives a Scion TC, so that's kind of what brought this dare I say genre? Not really genre. Topic. That's the word I'm looking for. Into my head as an idea for an episode. So I figured I'd do it. Just this is kind of the point of this podcast, just to get to different random cars and learn about them and hear my opinion, and you can share your opinion. I want to get a subreddit started soon for this podcast, so that way, discussions can happen in the subreddit and people can share their opinions, stuff like that. But it's probably not going to happen until things get a bit more popular, get a bit more listeners, more people want to actually discuss stuff like that. But yeah, happy Thanksgiving. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're spending your Thanksgiving. If you're listening on Thanksgiving, I know you might not be, with my podcast. I appreciate it. And yeah, let's get right into it. So, Scion was a brand of Toyota that debuted in 2003 and was available only in the United States and Canada. The brand was intended to appeal to younger customers. The Scion brand emphasized inexpensive, stylish, and distinctive sport compact vehicles and used a simplified, pure price sales concept that brought traditional trim levels and dealer haggling. Each vehicle is offered in a single trim with a non-negotiable base price, while a range of dealer-installed options were offered to buyers for personalizing their vehicles. The Scion name, meaning of descendant of family or heir, refers both to the brand's cars, and their owners. In an effort to target millennials, Scion primarily relied on guerrilla and viral marketing techniques. The brand's first soft launch in the United States at selected Toyota dealers in the state of California in June 2003, before expanding nationwide by February 2004. So a little before I was born. I guess that ages me, huh? The sales peaked in 2006 with 173,034 units sold. In 2010, Scion expanded into Canada. However, Toyota's initial propositions of short produce cycles and aggressive pricing based on low dealer margins became increasingly unsustainable as sales fell after the financial crisis of 2007 and 2008. Toyota abolished the Scion brand at the start of 2017. In August 2016, the vehicles were either rebranded as Toyotas or discontinued. It was kind of a shame. Scion was pretty cool. It was a fun little quirky side brand. I would compare it. I hate to do this. I really hate to do this. But I kind of want to compare it to the way that Saturn died. I know they died for different reasons. Saturn got shut down because GM was going bankrupt, while Scion shut down because they just weren't selling a lot because of their high prices that dealers were setting up, and it was not that people didn't want them, they were just overpriced for what they were and what people were willing to pay. But the reason I want to compare them is because it's a good brand that got shut down for a dumb reason, you know? It's something that could have stayed and would have been awesome, but it got killed really early. And I wonder what Scion would be like today. If Scion made a car in 2023, it would probably be pretty sweet. Like, it'd probably be a fun sports car. I mean, I know we have the FRS, which you can throw in there, but it's pretty much just the 8.6 and the BRZ. But I'm pretty sure Toyota, I mean, Scion was, technically it still was a Scion 10. It's hard because Toyota designed it first, I believe. Actually, I don't know. I kind of want to look into that. Give me a second. Okay, I did some research. Technically, Toyota did it first. So, technically, the Scion FRS is just a Toyota. They just badged it for Scion. But, still, it was pretty sweet, and they expanded off of that. And I think they could have expanded the FRS as well, but they didn't. They could have kept that platform, I think. It would have been a really good mod, a tuner platform. That would probably be pretty popular today. I don't see why it wouldn't be. It definitely, you'd see them in a lot of car meets. But yeah, I think it's a shame. I think they could have been a really pretty productive brand today. But they're not, unfortunately, because of Toyota. In 1999, Toyota launched Project Genesis, an effort to bring younger buyers to the Toyota brand in the United States. This project aimed to create a brand within a brand in sales and advertising strategy for compact and coupe models sold by Toyota. The effort, which included the introduction of the Toyota Echo, which I don't know if you've ever seen a Toyota Echo, but they actually only made, I believe, they only made 69,000 Toyota Echoes, if I remember correctly. That's what I've been told. I might be wrong, but that's still kind of crazy. They're cute little cars, though. They're fun. Along with the late generation Toyota MR2 and Toyota Celica, they were judged unsuccessful and canceled in 2001. In response, Toyota chose to launch a separate mark, if you will, an effort called Project Exodus. A Los Angeles-based digital design company, Fresh Machine, was retained by Toyota to develop the brand, logo, and website. The project became known as Scion. Toyota had previously participated in a project in Japan with other Japanese companies who attempted to market products to younger buyers. Toyota manufactured 3 vehicles under the WILL brand name, which were exclusive to the Toyota Nets store, Japanese dealerships, called Toyota Nets. So basically they tried to create something within Toyota with the MR2 and the Celica, but then they said it was unsuccessful. I guess maybe they decided it would have been better to have cars kind of designed like that as a separate thing from Toyota, so that's why they started Scion. They kind of felt like this should be its own individual thing. We don't want to mix this in with all of our family sedans. This is supposed to be judged at or sent to the millennials, stuff like that. Scion was marketed as a youth brand and was first introduced in March of 2002 at the New York Auto Show. There were just 2 concept vehicles, the BBX, which became the XB, and the CCX, which became the TC. Everybody knows the TC. The 2004 XA and XB were unveiled at the Greater Los Angeles Car Show on January 2nd, 2003. They were available only in 105 Toyota dealerships in California at their initial launch on June 9th, 2003. That seems like a lot. 105 different dealerships you can get it from. I mean, that seems like a lot. Then again, California is large, and there's probably, I don't want to say tens of thousands. I haven't looked up how many car dealerships there are in California, but there's probably thousands. So I guess that is a probably pretty small amount. The subsequent rollout of the brand to the South, the Southeast, and the East Coast occurred in February 2004. Scion vehicles were available nationwide in June 2004, coinciding with the release of the 2005 TC on December 16, 2006. Scion unveiled the next generation XB based on the T2B concept and the new XD, successor of the XA, at an invitation-only, no-camera event in Miami. Both cars were then publicly unveiled on February 8, 2007 at the Chicago Auto Show. The XD, a 5-door subcompact that was sold in Japan as the second-generation Toyota LST, was based on the Yaris platform with the 10th-generation Corolla engine. That might be the IST. It's just lowercase. It's hard to tell. I wish, speaking of the Yaris, I am kind of upset we didn't get the new GR Yaris here in America, because that car is sweet. I love the GR Yaris, and I was so sad when I heard that they weren't going to be selling them in America, because I want to see one. I want to see one in person, but by the time they're legal to import, they're going to be so old. I mean, it's what, 20, 25? Is it 20 or 25? It might be 25 years that it has to be in order to import a Japanese domestic car. So by that time, it's going to be, what, like 2040 something? We're going to have all brand new sorts of like flying cars. Everything's going to be electric. I don't think that's true. The electric part, maybe. All the new cars probably going to be electric, or at least majority of them. I don't think we're going to have flying cars. That's probably not going to be within any of our lifetimes, let's be honest. But hey, I don't know. Maybe we have reached the peak of evolution when it comes to vehicles. Maybe cars are never going to be able to fly, and that's why we have planes, because planes are the only way you can fly. I mean, other than rockets and water-propelled jetpacks, I guess that's technically flying. Helicopters, I mean, that's not the point. I mean, there's a chance, 50 years from now, we still have the same technology we have with cars as we do today. That's actually probably not true, because judging by some of these concept cars, they can do pretty crazy. Look, okay, sometimes I say things, and then as soon as I say it, I think about it more, and then it's like, you know what, that actually doesn't make any sense. Like this, for example, we're going to have more advanced cars, for sure, 100%. I mean, even just judging, like, the new, all those Mercedes concept cars you've seen, like, Supercar Blondie post about and stuff, those are pretty crazy. I don't think we're anywhere near those being mass-produced and sold at dealerships and around America and Europe and all that. But I think that technology is getting closer to being standard in newer vehicles, which some of it is cool, but a lot of it is just so unnecessary. I think we were doing pretty good. Cars were used for what they need to be used for, but now there's so many distractions. Like, who needs a giant, like, 10-inch screen in the middle of your dashboard? All it's going to do is distract you while you're driving. You don't need any of that. You need a tiny little radio and something, you can play music with. That's fine. Everybody needs music while you're driving. CD player, cassette player, if you're like me, whatever it may be. Maybe you put a vinyl record player in your car. That'd be pretty cool. Just you hit a bump and it's going to skip. So maybe not. Maybe only do that if you have one of those old Toyotas that are the Lexus SC300? The ones with the Bose suspension where you drive over bumps, car doesn't even move. If you had one of those, it'd probably work. But anyway, not trying to ramble here, but I think we were doing fine with where cars were in development. I think all this new stuff is just completely unnecessary. Everything was fine. I mean, cars were great even in the 90s, even like the 80s, 70s. We can even go back to the 70s. All you needed was that carbureted engine, transmission, drive axle, and drive shafts. That's what I was trying to say. All you need is that. Everything worked. It ran. None of those electronics. No weird computer stuff. I mean, maybe throw an airbag in there. That's pretty smart. But we don't need giant screens. We don't need everything to be electrically powered with a computer that is, oh, I can sense that your tire pressure is low. Like, I can look at it. I can go outside and look. And if my tire's low, I'll put air in it. That's all I need to do. I don't know. It makes cars harder to work on. More things can go wrong. More things you have to spend money on. More ways the dealership's taking all your money. It's kind of like Apple with their new iPhones. They're just the same as the last year, just maybe changed a little bit, but they function the same. And I mean, hey, if you're an iPhone person, and I'm not judging, use your iPhones. I prefer Android because you can customize them a lot, and my phone folds in half, so that's cool. I also just like having things that people don't normally have, which is why I drive a chalkboard car and own a phone you can fold in half, and own cars that are old and made of plastic and from a brand that doesn't exist anymore. But hey, that's just me. Nothing wrong with iPhones. Use your phones. They're cool. Titanium phone, that's pretty cool. Anyway, let's go back to cars here. Where was I? Let's see. Here I was. In September of 2010, Scion expanded into Canada with vehicles offered at 45 selected dealerships, starting in Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver, followed by other cities. Launch models included the TC, XD, and XB. The first new Scions were shown in Canada at the 2009 Montreal International Auto Show. The Montreal International Auto Show is an annual auto show held for 10 days in mid to late January in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. It usually takes place at the Palais des Congrès de Montréal. I probably abused that. If you know how to pronounce that and I pronounced it wrong, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't even know I was going to say that. A little fun fact that was thrown in there that I forgot about. So now we get into some of the struggles of the Scion brand, which we all know. Scion obviously had a struggle, otherwise it would still be here. I wish it was. I wish Scion was still here. It's a fun brand. Sales of the Scion brand were down to a low of 45,678 to be exact for the 2010 model year, compared to over 170,000 for 2006. The management tried to resuscitate the brand, hoping to sell 35 to 45,000 TCs in a year after the model was redesigned for 2011. In October 2011, the IQ, an ultra-compact city car, debuted as a 2012 model. If you've never seen the IQ, this thing is basically a smart car, like size-wise. It's the same size, maybe a tiny bit bigger as a smart car. It's tiny. Fun fact about that, it's actually in Europe, it's an Aston Martin. It's called the Aston Martin Cygnet? C-Y-G-N-E-T. I don't know how to... Cygenet? Yeah, it doesn't look anything like an Aston Martin. I don't know why Aston Martin would have been the one to brand it. I don't know. It's weird. That was a weird move from Aston Martin. I mean, it was just a rebadge, so they obviously didn't make it. It was rebadged from Scion. It's just so weird that they decided to rebadge that. It's practically a smart car. It's tiny. It's kind of cute. It's a little cute. It's a little cute, maybe. But weird that Aston Martin did it. Anyway, this episode's about Scion, not Aston Martin. Let's get back to Scion. In April of 2012, the vice president of Scion, Jack Hollis, announced that the XB and XD would be dropped after 2012 in supposedly a favor of all new models from Toyota's hatchback division, Daihatsu. In the same month, the FRS sports car went on sale as a 2013 model. Later in 2012, despite the announcement of its imminent, I don't know why I said it like that, discontinuation, a facelifted version of the XB was unveiled. So he just went against exactly what he just said. He's like, you know what, we're going to cancel it so that way our Daihatsu brand will get more attention. And then, bam, facelift. Here's a new version. In late 2013, the XD and second generation XB were in their 7th year without a substantial redesign, and Scion sales were still far short of their 2006 peak. Toyota began allowing dealers to drop the Scion brand without penalty. The recently introduced FRS had strong initial sales, but combined sales of the new FRS and redesigned TC did not equal sales of the TC alone during 2005 through 2008, and industry observers concluded that the FRS was cannibalizing sales of the similar TC. IQ sales never met expectations, of course, because that thing was so weird. Who would actually want to drive that? And by 2014, observers were characterizing it as a disappointment. A primary goal of the Scion brand was to introduce young first-time buyers to Toyota's products, but analysts found that relatively few Scion buyers were making follow-on purchases from the more profitable Toyota and Lexus lines, and Gen Y buyers were generally making more pragmatic car buying choices than their predecessors due to economic factors. Here's something I'll never understand from car brands. A lot of people aren't going to buy, let's use Scion as an example, a Scion and then be like, oh, this Scion was cool, now I want to buy a Toyota. That doesn't make sense. Why would that be what they're aiming for? I get it, it maybe will bring a more recognition to Toyota and be like, oh, this was made by Toyota, that's cool. But why would they be like, oh, they bought that, I hope they come back and buy a Toyota soon? It's like, nah, that car should last you like 20 years if you take care of it. If you just do oil changes and refix things when they break, that car will last you forever. You shouldn't need to come back a few years later and buy another car. I know a lot of people do. A lot of people with a lot of money, their car hits 100,000 miles and they're like, okay, time to get a new one. If you have the money for that, that's cool. Good job getting that much money. I'm envious of you. But it just feels like kind of a waste. I mean, cars can last so much longer than that. My wagon has almost 400,000 miles on it, and it's still running. I mean, it's rough. It's definitely very rough. There's a lot of work I need to do on that, but it's still running, and that's a lot. So I never understand when car companies will do something like that, because it just doesn't seem, unless you're a rich brand where people have enough money to where they're going to just sell a car within a few years and get a new one, sure. But I don't know if Toyota is one of those brands. Maybe. For the 2015 model year, Scion released the IM hatchback based on the international Toyota Auris, and the IQ, XB, and XD were discontinued. Scion also introduced the IA sedan, a rebadged version of the Mazda 2. However, Toyota opted to sell the IA as a Toyota Yaris R sedan in Canada, which is just a newer version of the Mazda 2. They just used the newer version instead, I guess. Which, honestly, the older one would have been cooler as a Scion, I think. That's a lot more Scion-y based on how it looks. But hey, it wasn't my decision. On February 3rd, 2016, Toyota announced that Scion brand would be phased out in August after the 2016 model year, stating that the company no longer required a specific mark to target younger demographics. The FRS, IA, and IM models were amalgamated into the Toyota mark for the 2017 model year as the Toyota 86, Toyota Yaris, and the Toyota Corolla. While the TC was discontinued, the then upcoming CHR was also moved to the Toyota mark after originally being unveiled as a Scion. The change was not expected to cause disruption to service options, as Scion models were sold and serviced at Toyota dealerships. So the CHR was going to be a Scion? I did not know that. The CHR seems a lot more Toyota themed than a Scion, but they might have changed some things to make it more Toyota-y after announcing and knowing that Scion was going away. I don't know, just the CHR surprising me as a Scion. That doesn't seem very Scion to me. Maybe that's because it wasn't. I don't know. It's really sad. I wonder, like, there aren't any brands nowadays that are really shutting down or anywhere near shutting down, because not many companies are creating these smaller side brands anymore. I know General Motors mostly just has Chevy. They had a lot of other brands and they've all kind of died off. I know they still have Buick, but Chevy's their big one. There's a few others, but like Ford just has Ford. I know there's like Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, but those are all big brands. Those aren't like smaller car divisions. Those are all pretty popular. There's just not car brands, car dealerships, car companies aren't making small little fun side brands anymore. So there's not as many cars that are dying out. I can't think of the last time I heard of a car brand dying, and that's probably because last time it happened, I was too young to really understand or even know what was going on, and it doesn't really happen anymore. But I wonder, being a fan of Scion, let's say like 2010, let's say it's 2010, you're like 23. Let's say you're 20 years old and you've been a fan of Scion. It was your first car. You're a huge fan. You wear a bunch of Scion shirts and a bunch of accessories. You've built your car, and then they announce that they're shutting down. Like, how do you react? You know, what do you do? How do you just say, "Oh man, that sucks," and then that's it? Do you keep collecting it? Like, that's gotta suck, right? Hearing that your favorite car brand, you're just, hey, we're getting shut down, by the way, just so you know. No more Scions. Like, that's gotta hurt if you're a big fan. That would be so painful. I'd be pretty upset. Alright, getting into more of the more specific facts and stuff here. We have their pricing, accessories, and availabilities section. Scion used sales tools such as pure price and monospec trim levels with a wide selection of factory and TRD accessories. Extensive market research and testing with Gen Y consumers formed the basis of the Scion badge. Pure price means that the price posted, whether on the vehicle, in an advertisement, or on the menu display board in the dealership, was the price customers would pay. Where does this sound familiar from? I don't want to say it again because I'm not trying to bring it into every single thing I do in my entire life, which is hard to do. I'm talking out of the side of my mouth right now. That's why it sounds like this. It's for dramatic effect. But where else have we heard that from? Oh, actually, wait, it mentions it in here. Pure price was designed to ensure a shorter and simpler process, eliminating all negotiation, though it was common for dealers to add aftermarket accessories and mark vehicles up to increase profits. The concept aimed to be open and consistent to all customers. The concept was not new to the U.S. market, having been introduced in the early 1990s by the Geo and Saturn brands of General Motors. Hey, look at that. Look at that. I forgot that I put that there. Yeah, Geo had the same thing, in case you didn't know. They also had the no haggle pricing kind of situation, but yeah, Saturn and Geo did it. That's where we've heard it from, and I think Toyota liked that it worked, so they started doing it. But then, as it said, they would add aftermarket accessories to still get some profit up. But anyway, I hate throwing Saturn into stuff, because every time I say anything about Saturn at any point in life, like if I'm at work and we're outside fixing a water main, we're digging a hole by the road and a Saturn drives by and I point it out, everyone just like sighs, like, oh, of course he's gonna point it out. You know, I try to not bring it into everything I do, but it was right there. I mean, come on, dude. I had to say it. I already said it earlier. I had to say it again. Come on. Anyway, Scion's sales approach differed greatly from that of the Toyota brand. In the United States, for instance, the Toyota Camry was offered with 4 different trim levels intended for 4 different crowds: budget-conscious, mainstream, sports-oriented, and luxury. All Scions, in contrast, had only one standard trim level and were designed to be uniquely customized for the driver. Pretty cool. I actually didn't know that before setting this up. So instead of having like different options, you basically made it how you wanted it. It was just, hey, here's the base car, add whatever you want to it, bam. They didn't have like preset trim levels, like they pointed out. Toyota Camry had like the oh man, what am I? Wow, I can't think of what it's called. TRD Camry, yeah. They have like that one where it has all the sporty stuff on it, and then have a little bit of a cheaper version, blah blah. And Scion was just like, nope. If you want nothing but just the car, you can get nothing but just the car. If you want to add this stuff to it, let us know. We'll add it. That's pretty cool. Now here's some post-production accessories. Scion offered about 150 different accessories. Other aftermarket companies through the Scion program offered to add other accessories as well. For example, one can add a subwoofer as well as different types of decals. The TC had offered an optional supercharger to increase power from 161 to 200 horsepower, but this option was discontinued in 2007 due to early failure of the bearings inside of the centrifugal blower. So they gave it a supercharger but didn't up the parts to be able to handle a supercharger. That's kind of lame. Do you know how cool that would have been if they did that properly? A supercharged Scion TC? Oh man, if they kept that going, I'm sure people would have loved that. Especially nowadays, people would probably pay a good penny for a clean one. But let's see, how was it? It didn't last long, like a year, 2 years? It doesn't say, I forgot. It doesn't specify the year it started. I'm assuming probably since the release, and then in 2007 they stopped it. That's so lame though, that could have been so cool. It's a shame they didn't upgrade the inside of the engine to handle the power. Although it does say it's the blower that had issues, so maybe they just didn't build it properly. They didn't build the parts good enough to handle the power. All accessories are sold individually and do not require special packages. However, some options, such as ground effects, do prevent other accessories, such as mud flaps, from being installed. See, that's pretty cool. Scion had a lot of aftermarket accessories that weren't technically aftermarket, because you could put them on from factory. You could have ground effects on, like through a Scion program. You could put underglow on. That's sweet. You could have a supercharger on it, but it was from a Scion program. That's awesome. And there's also mud flaps, which are more common but still pretty cool because a lot of cars don't offer that. I like that. I wish a lot more car brands did stuff like that. Imagine you get a Toyota Camry that came factory with underglow. Like Toyota doesn't even do it. It was a Scion thing. Imagine you get a Ford Mustang with, like, I don't know, underglow, I guess. That's all I can really think of. Imagine you get a Jeep and it already has like wheel lights, rock crawler lights on it. That'd be so sweet. But places don't do that anymore. Or I guess Scion was the only one that I know of. There might be others that kind of did similar to that. I haven't gotten to those cars yet. I'm going to research them eventually and do an episode on them later eventually. But companies that participated in the Scion program included Greddy, OBX, I don't want to pronounce this wrong, Razo, and a few car detailing companies and others. Pretty sweet. That sounds like it'd be a fun program to be a part of. Especially if you're an aftermarket or a tuner car parts, you're pretty much just getting more people to buy your stuff. If you've teamed up with Scion, that's pretty sweet. So this next section is probably going to be hard to listen to and really annoying, but I couldn't find a better way to set this up other than the way it is. So get ready to listen to the same 6 words with a few different ones here and there over and over again, probably like 25 times, 30 times maybe. Beginning in the second quarter of 2004 with the launch of the 04 Scion XB RS 1.0, followed by the Scion XA-RS, Scion decided to create limited edition vehicles pre-packaged with exclusive accessories in limited quantities. Limited edition vehicles, from a marketing standpoint, were used to create a buzz for the brand name, with their exterior colors tending to be loud or bright hues, like orange, yellow, red, blue, green, any of those bright colors. Because of the growing popularity of the Scion product line and the scarce production runs, most dealers only got 2 to 3 of each RS model. These limited edition vehicles sold out quickly. Pre-ordering is available at each dealership on a first-come, first-served basis. To the customer's benefit, Scion's pure price bounds dealership against market demand vehicle markup. Naturally, resale values of release series vehicles command a premium because of their packaged options and scarcity. So here is where you just have fun, I guess. If you need to, you can. I'm pretty sure you can fast. Yeah, you can. In Spotify, you can set the playback speed. If you want to set this to like 2 times, so that way you still can read it or listen to it, feel free. This is going to be a fun one. So, in 2004, the Scion XBRS was only available in Hot Lava Orange with 2,100 units produced. The XARS was only available in Absolutely Red with 1,550 units produced. In 2005, the XBRS was only available in Solar Yellow with 2,500 units. The XARS was only available in Spectra Blue Mica with 1,700. The TCRS was only available in Absolutely Red with 2,500 units produced. In 2006, the XBRS was only available in Envy Green with 2,200 units. The XA was only available in Stingray Metallic Light Blue with 2,500. The TCRS was only available in Blue Blitz Mica with 2,600 units. The XBRS was only available in Mazoria Torched Penny, or a polarized goldish brown. You get like a torched penny colored XB with only 2,500 units produced. In 2007, the TC was only available in Blizzard White with 2,500 units. In 2008, the XB was only available in Gold Rush, 2,500 units. The TCRS, these are all RS by the way, only available in Galactic Gray with 2,300 units. The XD was only available in Hot Lava Orange with 2,000 units produced. In 2009, the XB was only available in Absolutely Red with 2,500 units produced. The TC only available in Gloss Black with 2,000 units produced. So you can only get a Gloss Black TCRS in 2009. There are only 2,000 of them. That's kind of crazy. The XD was only available in Wasabi Green with 2,000 units produced. In 2010, the XB was only available in Murasaki Purple, 2,000 units. The TCRS was only available in Speedway Blue with 1,100. That's the lowest number so far. The XB was only available in Voodoo Blue with 2,200 units. The XD was only available with Expresso. Well, I'm assuming like a light brown. It's literally just the letter X and then Presso, Presso, 1,500 units. I'm assuming it's an espresso, like light brown color, unless it's a not cream espresso. And I didn't look at the color. In 2012, the XB was only available in Hot Lava with 1,500 units. Oh, here's our lowest one yet. In 2012, the XD was only available in Blizzard Pearl with 800 units. That's crazy. So if you have a 2012 Blizzard Pearl colored XDRS, that's kind of crazy. You're sitting on a pretty cool limited edition car. In 2012, the TCRS was only available in High Voltage Yellow for 2,200 units. 2013, the TC was only available in Absolutely Red with 2,000 units. In 2014, the FRS was only available with Yuzu Yellow, 1,500. The XB was only available with Electric Quartz with 1,500. In 2015, the TCRS was only available in Two-Tone Black and Orange with 2,000 units produced. I have actually seen a few of these in person. There's one that I used to pass by almost every day on the way to work, the Two-Tone Black and Orange. I have seen, I think, 2 or 3 of those. They're pretty cool. At first, I thought it was somebody did that on purpose, but I didn't realize it was factory. But it's pretty cool. There's only 2,000 of them. I didn't know that. And then in 2016, the FRS only available in a green color called Lunar Storm with 1,000 units produced. So there's that. That was fun. How long did that take? Like 2 minutes? 3 minutes? I don't know. But boy, was that fun. Honestly, those are very small numbers for special editions, considering they were sold all over California and everything. Like, they sold out fast, and I'm sure they were hard to even find even when they came out. Now into some advertising. To advertise Scion, Toyota began a promotional campaign using a form of guerrilla marketing, using posters and ads in movie theaters and TV to direct consumers to its various Want to Be Square websites. Want, the number 2, the letter B, and then Square. Scion's marketing endeavors extended to sponsorships such as that of VBS TV show Thumbs Up, which featured David Cho hitchhiking across the United States. Scion sponsored 2 commercials featuring Concours race car driver Matt Verbin during the Castle Hill Concours d'Elegance, showing him racing a custom-painted yellow and orange XB on Cambridge streets. Scion also teamed up with Gaia, providing the XB, XD, and TC as a choice for users' cars as well as other things across the site. So was that like a game, I'm assuming? You know what? I'm a podcast. I'm supposed to inform people. Let me look it up. Okay, I did some research. I still don't know how to pronounce it properly, but it is an online hangout incorporating social networking forum, gaming, and a virtual world. So it's okay. I don't know if you ever played with Webkins as a kid or as a teen for some of you. This is kind of the same, but with people. What? You can actually... Okay, this is sick. This is so sweet. I see a picture right here. There's actually people in tiny little Scion XBs and stuff. Oh man, that look is so sweet. That's so cool. It's basically Webkins, but it's a car instead of an animal. And you can you just sit in a server with other people and you can see their cars. Oh man, you have to look this up. This is so cool. Is it still a thing? Oh, please tell me. I'm gonna see if this is still active right here, right now on this podcast. Is it still active? Can you still use it? Oh, the website's still up. How do I play? Where's the download button? I need to know. Oh, I guess it was a Flash game, so it was online, but now that Flash is dead, can you still customize your ride? Oh, I'm making an account. We're doing this. I did it. I've created my account. I've logged in. I got an achievement. I received 100 points. I don't know what it means, but I did it. How do I get a Scion TC? How do I get a Scion TC? Car. Customize your ride for rally. I need to confirm my email first. Come on, this thing's like 15 years old. I don't know how old this is, but it's old. Where's my email? Come on. There it is. Click here to verify. I'm not a robot. Activate account. We're getting to the end of the podcast here, but I have to do this. I gotta decorate my own Scion TC, dude. Oh, it's working. Oh, I wish I could share the screen. I got the XD. Oh, it's so rusty. Oh man, I got a Scion XD. This is so sweet. No way. Let's see. Buy more parts. Ooh. Oh, what? How am I only just... This is so sweet. You can customize the wheels. Where do I buy a car? There's a Scion TC. What's this? Scion XB? Scion XD? I could buy a Scion TC. Do I have enough? It costs 1 platinum, as they're called. I have 850 of them. I'm buying a Scion TC. Confirm, give me that. Yes, I got a Scion TC. Let's go. That's so sick. Wow, I'm surprised this is still up. I have a Scion TC now. There it is. Oh my goodness. I wish I could show this to you so bad. I wish I could show this to you. This is the coolest thing. You're gonna have to either play it or look it up. I would show you if I could. I'd put the little video on Spotify, but I don't have that yet. I will be soon. I'm getting a webcam, and then I'll figure out how to do a whole screen. I'm gonna get a green screen behind me, and then I'm gonna have pictures of the cars I'm talking about in the video, so you can watch me talk about them, and you can see what I'm talking about. I really wish you could see this. It's so cool. I get to modify a Scion TC. There's so many cool things. There's so many cool things. I can put side skirts on it and stickers and flames, nitrous. What? No way. I could get a carbon fiber hood. Yo, antenna. I can change the antenna, get a power shield. What can I do on the roof? Police lights. More flames. I can get an antenna ball. No way. That's so cool. There's so many of them. Is there underglow? Yes, you can put underglow on it too. What else we got? Stickers. A full body kit? There's a full body. There's a what? Decals. What is this? Window tint. Oh man, I'm gonna be on here for a while. You can get flower rims. We got Scion premium rims. Oh my goodness. This is so cool. Concept car. Is that a Scion? No, it's not. It's not based off of. Okay. This is not sponsored, but you need to go build yourself a Scion on Gaia. I'm gonna call it Gaia online. It's free. This isn't a sponsor. This is so extremely cool. Go build yourself a Scion TC. It looks so fun. It reminds me of Cartown Streets. If you have never played Cartown Streets, you missed out. You so missed out. Cartown Streets was so much fun. You seriously missed out. It got shut down, unfortunately, but it was one of the best mobile games out there. This is designed the same way. The cars look the same, except you can actually customize them. Ooh, I'm gonna be playing this for a while. This is so cool. I wonder if people still actually play it. Like, I wonder if there's people in the servers and whatnot. You can decorate an aquarium, your house, an avatar. Oh man. Okay, well, we're gonna get to that more later. Technically, it's still based on Scion. They actually had one at a indoor car show with like a vinyl based on the website on the side of it. That's cool. Let me finish this because that's really sweet. That's cool. Scion also used smaller regional viral campaigns to reach niche demographics. Online campaigns such as Scion Expressionism allowed a user to modify and design their own Scion with graphics, decals, and aftermarket car parts. Okay, I guess I have to look up if that's real too. Let me find out. Not real, I should say. Still active. It's not. It's not a thing. Now it's just a Facebook group that's in Arabic, I think, or Hebrew. It might be Hebrew. Yeah, that's definitely not Arabic. And I can't read it, and it's just pictures of people's Scions, which is cool. They look great, but the website, you can't customize your own anymore. That's really sad. Okay, that scared me. I had to close out of the voice recorder that I'm using, and it actually stopped recording the previous one, and I thought it deleted everything, and I was so scared that I was going to have to restart everything that I just did. Okay, so I got about 10 minutes. I can go a little over if I have to. I don't want to make it too long, but anyway, hopefully it'll let me combine this. It should. I don't see why it wouldn't. Go to Gaia Online, customize a car, as I was saying. But yeah, the Scion Expression campaign does not exist anymore, or at least it doesn't work. Online advertising, much of it quirky and offbeat, was part of Scion's marketing mix for both these campaigns and of the launch of new models. Shows like Slick's Picks went around the country interviewing artists, stores, and events, and put short videos on the site. Scion Radio 17 was an internet radio initiative that featured 17 non-mainstream channels, ranging from rock and hip-hop to electro and soul. Scion AV served as the brand's lifestyle marketing initiative, funding projects in music, art, and film. Scion Audio and Visual is what that stands for, by the way. In August 2008, Scion released the United by Individuality ad campaign, featuring over 300 Scion owners' vehicles in various magazine articles, commercials, and billboards. That's cool. You could have your car in a commercial and on a billboard. That's sweet. I love that they did stuff like this. Wow, Scion was really cool. The more you look into it, you realize Scion was really a cool brand. It's so sad what happened to them. I feel like if they did stuff like this now, if Scion was still around, they would absolutely be booming. There'd be so much cool stuff coming from Scion. That's really cool. I'd love to have my car on a billboard or a commercial just because they like the people driving their cars. That's really cool. I love that. The latest commercial video showed a convoy of Scions parading through the desert in Boulder City, Nevada. These videos and ads can be seen on Scion's website. That's really, really cool. Oh man. That's awesome. I want to get a little bit into the Scion TC separately because that's the main reason why I did this. And then we're going to end it after that. So this one will be a little bit longer, but not too long, I hope. But yeah, as you know, the Scion TC is a compact car manufactured by Toyota under its Scion brand from 2004 to 2016, over 2 generations. Both generations were built in Japan. The TC was introduced first in the United States for the 2005 model year, and then beginning with a second generation in the 2010 model year in Canada as well. The TC was Scion's best-selling model, constituting almost 40% of total Scion sales. That's crazy. Almost half of every sale from Scion was the TC. That's awesome. It's a good car, so definitely deserves it. The name TC stands for Touring Coupe. Beginning in 2011, the TC was sold as the Toyota Zealous in the Middle East, China, and South America, a name derived from Zelante, Italian for passionate, or zealous, obviously. Zelante, I'm Italian, so it's fine. Toyota debuted the production TC at the January 2004 NAIAS, with sales beginning in May 2004 as a 2005 model year. The North America International Auto Show is what NAIAS stands for, by the way. The TC was a spiritual successor to the Celica, intended to appeal to the millennial market, as we know. Toyota included numerous standard features. Not-so features were easy to add. Standard equipment included power windows, cruise control, air conditioning, keyless entry, mirror-mounted turn signals, 4-wheel anti-lock disc brakes, and a 160-watt Pioneer sound system with CD player, 17-inch alloy wheels, and a panoramic moonroof. So Scion was really nice to their buyers. You got a lot of nice stuff with that TC. This TC shares its chassis with the Avensis and used a MacPherson strut front and double wishbone rear suspension. It was offered at a low base MSRP of $17,670 for the 2009 model year with a manual transmission. With the pure monospec pricing market, the style that Toyota adopted this generation was not sold in Canada. A bare bones version of the TC known as the Spec Package was offered without many of the standard accessories. The Spec Package replaced the 17-inch wheels with 16-inch steelies and 7-spoke wheel covers, and it simplified the interior and exterior equipment, including a fixed rather than powered glass roof, deletion of cruise control and steering wheel audio controls, a urethane steering wheel finish instead of wrapped leather, meant to serve as a blank slate to the tuner market. See? They actually like their tuner market. That's cool. A lot of brands don't care, and actually they don't want you to do it at all, which I don't get, because I don't see why you wouldn't. I like when they care about their tuner market. The Spec Package was offered in only 4 colors: Super White, Flint, Black Sand Pearl, and Classic Silver Metallic. MSRP was $1,400 less than the standard model, which at that point, it might be more worth for $1,500. It's probably worth just getting the better version. I mean, that's a lot you're losing out for only saving $1,400. It's cool as a blank slate, but also you could probably just modify the better version and then just have a nicer car to drive. I thought if it was more, say, if it was like $2,500, maybe, but for only $1,500, you probably would just get the better one. The Spec Package was discontinued for the 2009 model year. The TC received a minor facelift in 2007 for the 2008 model year that included a revised grille and new head and tail lights. The model was Scion's bestseller, reaching over 79,000 units sold in 2006, but the car's sales quickly dwindled by 2010, only moving 15,000, as we heard earlier. A second gen was released for the 2011 model year. Car and Driver praised the 2005 TC for its accessories, but criticized its low headroom in the back seat and limited cargo room. Well, it's a touring coupe. You're not really going to have car. It's not a van. That's just my opinion. You gotta judge it based on what it's built for. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety gave the Scion TC an acceptable overall score in both the frontal offset and side impact crash tests. All Scion TCs came standard with a 4-wheel disc brakes with anti-lock brakes, as we heard. For 2008 models, front seat mounted side torso airbags, front and rear side curtain airbags, and a driver's knee airbag became standard. Wow, knee airbag, that's pretty cool. Front passenger classification was also added, allowing dual stage control of airbag release dependent upon the weight of the passenger. Vehicle stability control was not originally offered until 2011 when Toyota began rolling out electronic stability control and vehicle stability control, and all their vehicle brands, including Scion, sold in North America. I think we're going to end it there. There's a lot of other cool stuff. Okay, here, we'll talk about TRD because TRD is cool. Similar to many other models of Toyota Lexus Scion, there are many upgrades available through the in-house tuning shop, TRD, Toyota Racing Development. Currently, TRD produces performance parts such as lowering springs and racing struts, full coilover suspension systems, performance brake kits, rear sway bars, front strut tower bars, limited slip differentials, upgraded clutches, axle back exhaust, and cold air intakes for the Scion TC. Other cosmetic accessories such as TRD branded valve covers and oil caps were also offered. TRD also offered a supercharger, which is a rebadged Vortex supercharger that is capable of putting out 20 psi, although when installed by a dealership and under warranty, it is set at 6. Wow. That's great. They really are just... Ooh, thunder. They're really just downgrading that supercharger. 20 psi, but we're going to give you 6. Like, dang. Starting in 2008, Scion began making the supercharger with tamper-proof pulleys. As of mid-2009, TRD discontinued production of the superchargers, as we heard before. So then they made it so you couldn't even tamper with them, and then they killed them. Again, something that could have been really cool, but they were a little bit too strict on it. I think they could have been... That could have been something really big. There are a few other things I want to add in here. There's a whole list of want to talk about them, but I don't want to have this go on too long. I just want to talk about some little bullet points I have to end it off. For the 2009-2010 Formula Drift seasons, Tanner Faust competed using a Rockstar AEM and Toyo Tire-sponsored Scion TC that was converted to rear-wheel drive. Built by Papadakis Racing, it was powered by a TRD-built V8 taken from a Busch Series NASCAR stock car, which is crazy. So that's pretty sweet. If you don't know Tanner Faust, he's really cool. I follow him on Instagram. He was also on Top Gear America. You probably know who he is. I didn't know that he drove a Drift Scion TC, though, with a NASCAR V8 in it. That's really cool. For the 2010 SCCA World Challenge season, Dan Gardner and Robert Stout drove a pair of supercharged Scion TCs in the touring car class. It was funny because it's the TC class for touring car, and that's what TC stands for. Robert Stout would win at the 2010 Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, giving Scion its first ever TC class win, which I think that's funny. Win a TC class and a TC, that's pretty cool. And in June 2012, Christian Rado used a Team Need for Speed all-wheel drive Scion TC at the Palm Beach International Raceway for a lap record of 1 minute and 20 seconds. So TCs are good, versatile, and apparently you can really easily swap the drivetrain. But anyway, this is, I think, my longest episode, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I actually had a lot of fun. I have a new website that I'm going to visit every day because this is really cool. I don't know if you're able to add friends. If you are, my username is Saturn Spotter. Add me. We can be friends. Can you? Yeah, you can. You can add friends. Friend request. Search for user. Okay, so you're going to go to my Gia and then our Gaia and then friends, and then you're going to see search for user in the right, and you're going to search for me. If you want, send me your usernames on Instagram. I'll add you, or put them in the Q&A on Spotify. If you don't have Instagram, I'll add you. It's fun. I actually have no idea how this works. I just know you can build your own Scion TC, and that's exactly what I'm going to do when I'm done recording this in like a minute. I had a lot of fun with this episode. This was really fun. I learned a lot of cool stuff. I hope you have as well. This is honestly probably my favorite episode. It was really cool. I learned a lot about Scion, a lot of stuff I didn't know. I think that's what made it fun, is because with the previous episodes, I knew most of the information already. I just researched some more, a little bit more about it, put them all into the same, set them out for a podcast. But for this, I actually learned a lot as I was putting it together. A lot of this I didn't know, and a good amount of it I actually don't look too far into until I'm actually doing the podcast, so that way we get genuine reactions, like I'm actually learning with you guys instead of just talking about it. But yeah, this was a really fun episode, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for joining me. I really, really appreciate your support. And I will see you guys next week. No clue what we're going to talk about yet. Maybe Saturn again? We'll be done with the Saturn stuff soon. I know it probably gets annoying. I might do something else just so that way it's not so much Saturn, but you gotta understand that's literally my whole brand, you could say. So that's just kind of who I am. But anyway, hope you guys have a great day. Happy Thanksgiving. Go spend a lovely day with your family. Eat some turkey or whatever you eat for Thanksgiving. I know it changes with religions and family and all that stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Love you guys.